Hi everyone, good evening. Good evening, guys. We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we will be starting the session. By 8:33, we will start. Let's wait for the others till that. All right, I think we will be starting the session. So once again, good evening, everyone. Just to confirm, can you all hear me? Am I audible? Yeah, guys, can you hear me? Okay, great. Good evening. Good to see you all here. So guys, we will be doing it in this manner. If you remember, I gave you a quiz yesterday while leaving. So first we will discuss those answers, and then I'll be giving you the quiz for yesterday's session. Right. So just give me a minute. I'll open the link for the last quiz what I gave you yesterday. Okay. Now there are a few practical questions and there are a few theoretical questions. We'll start with theoretical questions. So the first two we will do it in a bit. We would be taking the total profit and the how many orders, these things in a little bit. But we will go with this. Which of the following is the correct syntax for sum ifs function? You guys have taken this already. So can you tell me what do you think is the correct one? Out of this, which of the one is the correct syntax for sum ifs function? One, okay. Anyone else? Others, what do you think? First option, right? So first option is the correct one. Initially, we would be giving the sum range. So the first parameter, we would be giving the sum range. Then we would be giving the criteria range and criteria. So this is criteria range 1 and criteria. Then we will be giving the other criterias, right? So this is the correct solution, right? We will be giving the sum range, criteria. This might look correct. The fourth one might look correct. Sum range, criteria and criteria range, but first sum range and then criteria range, and only then we will be giving criteria. So make sure you are clear on this. So for this, the first one is the solution. And what about this one? What will be the following formula return if column A contains cities and column B contains sales value? Sum ifs B to B, A to A, and New York. What would be the solution here? Okay, how about others? So for this also the solution is 1. Right? It will give us the total sales of New York. See, assuming that New York is a city, we have the city values in column A and the sales value in column B. So first sum range we are giving B, which is the sales column, and then we are giving all the cities, and then we are giving the criteria of New York. So once this calculation is done, the total sales of New York would be the solution. So for this, the solution is total sales of New York. And here, which of the following statements about average ifs is true? Which is the correct one? Yes, everyone, which is the correct solution? B. Average if average is value based on multiple conditions, right? It will find the average and not on one condition. It will be doing it based on multiple conditions. If it is average if, then only one condition, but average ifs would take it with multiple conditions. Right? These are theory questions. We'll now go on and do the practical questions. What is the total profit of food and beverages products in Pune? So I'll go here and I'll be identifying the solution. So food and beverages, instead of typing, I'm going to copy. I'll copy this food and beverage and I'll be putting Pune. And here what we would be doing is equal to sum ifs. We need the total profit and profit is L column, right? You can see profit is this L column. So I'll select L, comma. I'll select product line, comma. I'll be selecting food and beverage. This is only my first condition, but I have one more condition here. So I'll give comma. I'll select the city, comma. I will also be selecting the value of Pune. So 3,50,290 is the solution, right? You can see 3,50,290. This is the solution for the first question. So have a look. This is the formula. See, we have already learned this, so I'm not spending much time on this. But this is the formula for you to get the solution, right? Did you all get 3,50,290? Did you get this answer? Perfect. Finally, the last one, how many orders were paid with net banking? Now, before you give the solution for the second question, what formula should we use? Yes. Just tell me what formula. Answer, we'll look at it later. Is it count if? Okay, we can use count if or we can also use count ifs. Now, keep in mind, if the question has the term numbers or how many, then we will be using count ifs. So here, to get it with net banking, I can put net banking equal to count ifs. Criteria is payment method, comma, net banking is my value. So the answer is 958. This is the solution. F to F, which is your payment method column, and then N27, which is your net banking. Right. So here you can see the solution is 958. Are you all clear with what we did on yesterday's quiz? Or what I gave you yesterday? Okay, now quickly, I'll be giving you the link for, yeah. So I'll be giving you the link for the topic, what we learned yesterday. So I'll give you all a few minutes. It's 8:40 now. I'll give you time till 8:45 and take this quiz. Right, everyone, I can see good amount of participants on the chat. So everyone, please take this quiz. And after 5 minutes, I'll discuss the answers for this also. But this would be very easy. It's all completely theoretical. There is no practical on this. So make sure you take this quiz. So I'll give you another 4 minutes. By 8:45, we'll discuss the answer. Before that, try to complete this quiz. If you have done, put done on the chat or let me know on the chat. Guys, you have another 1 more minute. Make sure you complete this. I can see a lot of people have completed it, but others also make sure you're completing this. All right, let us discuss. Once again, I want you to give me the answers for this. And as I said, this would be quite easy, for you all to answer. So what does V in VLOOKUP stands for? Option B, which is vertical, right? VLOOKUP is vertical lookup, HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup, right? So the first one solution is vertical. What is the key difference between VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP? So VLOOKUP searches the data vertically, HLOOKUP searches horizontally, right? If you are able to answer the first question, second one would be very easy. It's the same. VLOOKUP vertical, HLOOKUP horizontal. Right. Which of the following is the correct syntax of VLOOKUP function? A. Right. Lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. So this is the correct solution for the VLOOKUP function. In fact, for HLOOKUP also it will be the same. The only difference is here it will be row index number. If VLOOKUP returns NA, what is the most likely reason? The lookup value is not found in the first column, right? If it is not, see, it could be anywhere on the data, but we looked at a limitation. What if it is not present in the first column, right? So that is your solution here, the lookup value. Sometimes it could be also because of spelling mistake, right? But it's not given in the option. Spelling mistake is not given in the option. So the option answer is the lookup value is not found in the first column. And in HLOOKUP, what does the row index number means? It is the row number from which to return the value. Now, a lot of people might get confused on this. You might think the number of rows in the table is the row index number. That's not the solution. My table can have 10 rows or 20 rows, but I'll be giving the row where my value needs to be returned from. Right? So we will be using the concept of HLOOKUP for row index number, which will return us the value. Right? I hope you're clear on this, on row index number. And these are the solutions. As I said, this is a very easy one. It's all theoretical. The reason I gave you theoretical only is we would continue with VLOOKUP today. We'll do a few more things with VLOOKUP, and we would also, today also I'll give a lot of questions to you so that you can solve it. Not only that, we will also be learning one more kind of lookup function, and I'll tell you what is it. But before that, everyone open this data, what we worked with yesterday. Right? The lookup data, you have this with you. You worked on this in yesterday's session. Please open this and we will be using this for some analysis. Maybe we'll go to sheet 3 and we will do a little bit of analysis on this. Right? First, I'll give you a task and then you can do it. So I'll give you this question. Find the deaths of Delhi. Right? This is first question. Second question is find the active cases of Tamil Nadu. And the third question is find the cured of Kerala. So there are three questions. Solve all the three questions with the help of VLOOKUP. Whatever you have learned yesterday, use that concept. And as I usually say, don't just look at the value. Don't search for Delhi and tell me that this is the solution. Don't do it like that. Write the formula and based on the formula, give me the solution. Right? I'm going to give you all a few minutes. Make sure you complete all these three questions and you can give me the answers on the chat. Don't give the formula, just give me the answer. Right? Please try this, everyone. You can see find the deaths of Delhi, find the active cases of Tamil Nadu, and find the cured of Kerala. Eh? What are you saying, Bharat? Try to get the solution of these things. Everyone, I'll give you another 2 more minutes. Complete all the 3 questions and let me know if you have done this. You can refer to the formula what we worked with yesterday to understand it, but try putting VLOOKUP on these things. How many of you have done this? All the 3 questions? No one? No one is able to solve these 3 questions using VLOOKUP? Yes. Okay, guys, were you not able to solve this? Find the deaths in Delhi, find the active cases of Tamil Nadu, and find the cured of Kerala. Usually, at least a few of you do it. Are you finding it difficult? Do you want me to repeat VLOOKUP? Yes. Yes, no. Do you want me to repeat VLOOKUP or is it clear? Okay, I'll solve this. Have a look. First, we will go with the question where we need to find the deaths in Delhi. So for that, I will be using equal to VLOOKUP. There is this lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. So what is the lookup value for this? What should be the lookup value for this question? For the first question, Delhi, right? So you can put Delhi, comma. The table array is this. You can select the first value, control shift right, control shift down. The entire table is selected. So your lookup value is done, your table array is done, comma. What should be the column index number? Not 1. What should be the column index number? It should be 4, right? Because we need the death. Name of the state is the first one. Second one is active cases, then cured, discharged, and then the final one is death. So we should be putting 4. Comma, finally, this is not a range. We need the exact value. So you need to put false or you can put 0. And here you can see for Delhi, there were a total of 25,093 deaths. This is how you will be solving the first question. Clear on this? Guys, if you are getting any other answer than this, it means that you have done a mistake either on the formula or on any one of the value. Please have a look. I'll give you 2 more minutes. By looking at this, try to solve the other 2 questions. Now that I've repeated VLOOKUP, using this, try to solve the other questions. Yeah, make sure everyone you are able to copy this and then do it for the other options also. Delhi is 25,093. Do it for the others. Find the active cases of Tamil Nadu and cured cases of Kerala. Okay, everyone, I will also do the other two, but I'm going to teach you 2 additional things with the concept of VLOOKUP. Right? Let's understand what are the other 2 things. The first one is called as a table. Right? Let's understand this. See, your table array is this. You can see that what we have here, this is our table array. But please understand, just because there are borders, there are lines, rows, and columns, this is not an Excel table. In Excel, table has its own ways. And for us to understand whether what we have is a table or not, we'll be following a few techniques. The first one, let's create a table. Right? See, this is not a table. If it is a table, you will actually get an option, and I'll tell you what is it. But I'll also tell you what is the need for us to get the table. See, for the next question, if I want to write the formula, I would say equal to VLOOKUP, some lookup value, comma. I need to go back here, select my entire table again. So every time when I write the VLOOKUP formula, I need to select this entire table again. That's a little bit of manual work, and I don't want to do that manual work. So I will be creating a table and I'll be using that table in my formula. Let's understand how. For that, first thing, select your data. Right? Select your entire data. Now, selecting the data is not mandatory, but it's a good practice. To select your entire data, what is the shortcut? I told this in one of the session. What is the shortcut for you to select the entire data? Keyboard shortcut. Shift RD. Okay, shift right down. Okay, but other than that, the shortcut is Control A. Right? If you press Control A, you can see the entire data is selected. But for that, what you need to do is make sure the active cell is inside your data. Select somewhere inside your data and then press Control A. The minute you press Control A, your entire data is selected. Now that your entire data is selected, we will be creating a table. You can either go to Insert and there is a table option. You can select it. Here you can see that there is a table option. Or there is a shortcut. The shortcut is Control plus T, right? Or Control T. Okay, plus is just for the addition. So Control T is the shortcut to create a table. So I'll go here, I'll select my data. Now I'll press Control T. The minute I press Control T, let's see what happens. It's taking my entire data A1 to D37, which is my entire data. It starts from A1 and it goes up to D37. And there is an option called as my table has headers. Now I already told you headers means column names. And my table has column names, name of the state, active cases, all these are column names. So this option should be selected. By default, it will always be checked. So you don't need to uncheck this. If your data doesn't have columns, this should be unchecked. I'll repeat what I have done. Just select anywhere inside the data. Press Control A, which will select your entire data, and press Control T. And this will create a table, right? You get an option called as create table. And I'll tell you what is the purpose of this. Just give OK. The minute you give OK, this is what you call as a table. See, it might not be looking so great, but this is the table and we can customize this table, right? We have an option to customize it. We'll not talk about customization now, but everyone, please create this table for your COVID data. Select your entire data and press Ctrl T to create a table. Once you have created, just let me know, and then we'll move on to the next step. Others, make sure you are doing this. Make sure your table is ready. Now that we have our table, in fact, if you want to know whether you have a table or not, just select the data, and on top you will be getting this option called as table design. Only when you have this option called as table design, it means that you have a table on your data, right? If you don't have this option called as table design, it means that you have not created a table. So select the data, and I see that there is a table design. And what I'll do is I'll click on this table design. I'm going to give a name. By default, this table is named as table 1. You can see on the top left, it's named table 1. So number of tables, table 1, table 2, table 3, it will be going on like that. But I want to name this table so that when someone else looks at my Excel, they will understand. See, this is a COVID data. So I will be naming this table as COVID. To change it, just go here, make sure that you click on table design. You select the data first or select the table, go to table design, and on the top left, change this to COVID. Just type COVID and press enter. The name would now be changed. And we will also be looking at the reason, but everyone please name the table. Give any name that you want. You want to give your name also, it's fine. Just give a name. Make sure you have changed the table name, and then we will be using it in the formula. Now, if you see, I will be solving the, let's go with the second question. For Tamil Nadu, we would want to understand the active cases, right? So for Tamil Nadu, the active cases, the formula would be this equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value would be Tamil Nadu. I can select my entire table, but instead of selecting my entire table, what I will be doing is I would be typing the name of my table. See, have a look. If I type COVID, there is this table that is appearing, right? The name of the table. Before, this would not be there. Until you create the table, this will not be there. So COVID is our table. We have created this, comma. You don't need to select your table every time. Whatever name that you have given, you can use it in your formula, comma. Column index number. For active case, what is the column index number? For active cases, what is the column index number? 2. And we need the exact value. So I'm going to give 0, which is for false. I'll give 0. And here you can see 9890 is the active cases on Tamil Nadu. This is the old data. Okay. But yes, we get 9890. Right. I hope you're clear on this. What is the need of creating a table? Now, anytime you have a formula, you don't need to select the table or select the data every time. Just give the name of the table. Right. That would be very useful. Are you all clear on this? How to create a table and how to use this in the formula? Please try this, everyone. Write the formula and then do the same thing for the number of cured cases in Kerala. Try for that also. Okay, I hope you're clear on this table. The last thing that we would be doing is on VLOOKUP is learning how to create a drop down. See, I have a problem where I am not very sure on the spelling of Tamil Nadu. Now, what do I mean by that is it Tamil Nadu or Tamil space Nadu? That's a confusion that I have. Similar to that, there would be a lot of states here where we are not sure of spelling. Sometimes it's possible for us to make the spelling mistake. Now, to avoid this, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a drop down. Now, you all know what is a drop down. Have you seen drop down on different websites, on different Google Forms? You guys know what is a drop down? No. Okay, drop down is you will be finding an arrow like this. See, this is a drop down. You click on it, you get all the details here. Like that, when you click on an arrow, you get the name of all the states or you get a name of all the options. Then that is what you call as a drop down. So we will create a drop down here for all the states, and I'm going to tell you how. For this, we will be working on the concept of data validation. Now, data validation itself is a separate topic that we would be learning on one session, but for now, we will focus on the drop down. So I'll select here. Just select the cell where you want the drop down to be created. So I'm selecting this cell, and this is the cell where my lookup value is present, right? See, this is the cell where in my formula lookup value is present. So I'm selecting the cell. I will be going to data. You have an option called as data validation. You can select data validation. And in this data validation, in allow, you can put list. Let me repeat this. Select the cell, go to data option on top. Under this data option, you have something called as data validation. Select this data validation. And here in this data validation, allow select list. Because I want a list of values. Do till this, don't give okay. We also need to give the source, but do till this. I'll give you a minute and then we will be looking at how to get the source or how to give the list of values. You've created a dropdown, great. But I hope you all are on the screen where you see data validation, allow and list. Now in source, you need to give this data. Don't select the title, right? Just select this first state, what you have. In this case, it's Kerala. Do a control shift down. When you do a control shift down, your entire data is selected. I'm going to repeat this from the start. Please have a look. Make sure in the formula, right? Or you can write the formula later also. This is F11 is my lookup value. So I'll take this. I'll go to data validation. And in allow any value, I will change this from any value to a list. I'll give this from any value to a list. In source, I'll select the first state. Don't select this name of the state. Don't select the column name. Just select the first state and do a control shift down. When you do a control shift down, your entire states or union territories are selected. This is what you need to give in your source. Once you have done this, you can give OK and your drop down would be ready. Right, I'll show you this. I'm going to give OK. And here in this cell, you can see there is an arrow button next to it. Click on this, select any state that you want, and you will be getting the value for that. Right? If I select Puducherry, I'll be getting the data for Puducherry. If I select Goa, I'll be getting the data for Goa. Right? Any state you select, this is the active case. You will be getting the active case of that. So you don't need to write it. You know, if you feel that there could be a possibility for you to make a spelling mistake, you can go with data validation and create a drop. Are you all clear with this? How to create a drop down? Okay, guys, I'll give you a minute. Make sure you create a drop down. You create a drop down for this COVID data. And I'll give you this question. Create a drop down for the list of products in sheet 1 and get the sales using VLOOKUP. So guys, use sheet 1, create a list of products in sheet 1 as a drop down and get the sales of any product of your choice. Select that product and get the sales of it. Try this, go back to sheet 1 and try this. So this should be your drop down value. And if needed, you can create this as a table also. Right? That will also be working better. Try this question, everyone. I'll give you all another 2 minutes. By 9:15, we will move on. Because these values are a list of values. A list means collection of elements, right? In programming terms, in Excel terms, list means a collection of elements. Since these are different collection of states, collection of products, we will be selecting the list. You will learn more about data validation in probably last or second last session. I'll be teaching you that. Don't worry. For now, just look at how to create a dropdown. Everyone, please try this. I hope you are clear on this. Now we would move on to a different formula, which is index match. And first of all, index and match are two different functions. There is no function called as index match. Index is a function and match is another function in Excel. And here we would be using index match together, which would be acting as a replacement for VLOOKUP. See, there is one limitation what we saw on VLOOKUP yesterday, where let's go with this sheet 1 only. right, for sheet 1, or okay, I'll create a new data and then later I'll give you an activity on sheet 1. Right. So here, what I'll do is, let's take this student name, roll number, marks, and grade. Let's fill in some values. Right. And let's give some marks and grade. Now, this is a very small data that we have created. And you can create this data later. But what if I have a question here where I need to find the marks of, let's assume there are two students with the same name. There are two different students who has the same name. Or I'll put a name so that instead of ABC, you can make this. Let's assume there are two students with the name Arun. But these are two different students, okay? One Arun's roll number is 12 and the other Arun roll number is 67. Now, if your principal or if anyone who is asking what is the marks of Arun, you will actually be confused. You will be thinking which Arun's marks you want. Do you want the mark of Arun whose roll number is 12, or you want the mark of Arun whose roll number is 67? And your principal is saying that I want the marks of Arun whose roll number is 67. Now, if this is the case, you cannot actually use a VLOOKUP, right? If you use VLOOKUP equal to, maybe I'll put the roll number here, 67, equal to VLOOKUP. This is my lookup value, comma. This is my table array, column index number. I want the marks. So column index number is 3 and I'll be giving 0 because this is a exact value. You put enter, you will be getting NA because we know that it will only take the value on the left side. It will only take the value which is present on the left side. Right? Are you all clear till this? Where what is the problem that we are facing? Problem with VLOOKUP? Yes, guys, are you all clear? Why are we getting NA? Even though 67 is present in the data, the reason we are getting NA is it will only look at this value, the first column. It will not be looking at this value. And this is where we will be using a formula which would act as a replacement for VLOOKUP. These are two different formulas, okay? Equal to, there is a first, you need to write the formula index. Right? Index is you can give a set of array and you can give row number, row number and column number. When you give this row number and column number, the specific value would be given back. Right? I'll tell you how this works. If I select student name, right? This is my array, comma. I need to give my row number. I need to give my column number. Let's say I want 3. I don't want to give column number now. I'll only give the row number because column I have only 1. When you give 3, you press enter, you get the third, first, second, and you get the third. So index will return the value based on the number you give. Now, index match is actually going to help you with another thing, where one more problem for VLOOKUP is when you have the data, you need to manually count the row or count the column index number. See here, it's a very small. So I know that if I want marks, the column index number is 3. If I want grade, the column index number is 4. But once again, what if the data is like this, where you have number of columns to be more? When you have more number of columns, manually counting is another issue. And that is what index match is going to solve. So have a look. I'll be writing index match. I will say equal to index. Here in array, what you need to do is you need to give your output array. So I'll be giving the output array marks. Marks is what I want. So I'll be selecting the marks. So keep in mind, you will not give your entire table. When you're using index, you will only be giving the column that you want as the output. If you want marks, you will give marks. If you want grade, you will give grade. That's it. Very simple. Comma. Instead of giving the row number directly, I'll be using this function match. So match is a function that will automatically count the row and the column number for you. So I've given match. Now inside match, there is lookup value, lookup array, and match type. Very similar to our VLOOKUP. Lookup value, I need roll number 67. So I have given that, comma. My lookup array is your roll numbers. So from this roll number, it will search for 67. What is going to be your search term? You can give that as your lookup value, comma. Wherever your search column is present, you can give it. And as usual, you can give 0, which is the exact match. Now I'll repeat this once again, but let me show you the use of this index match. I'm going to give enter. See, now I know that student with roll number 67 has scored 88 marks. This was not possible with VLOOKUP. We were getting an issue with VLOOKUP, but when you use index and match, a combination of index and match, you would be able to get the solution. There is no limitation for you that it should be the first column or you need to count it manually. So I'll quickly explain to you this index match again. Equal to index. You need to give your output. What is it that you want? I'll be giving marks. That is my output. So I'll select the column of marks. Comma. I would say match. I need to give lookup value, lookup array, and match type. Lookup value is 67. And lookup array is your roll number. Comma, you can put 0 because we need the exact match. Just close the bracket and you will be getting this answer. This is how index and match works together. Is everyone clear on index and match? Please copy the formula. If you're clear on this, please copy this. Please copy the formula and make sure you're getting the solution. Now, if you're clear on this, use your sheet 1 and I'll give you one question. Using sheet 1, get the sales of order ID 25144 using index and match. Using index and match, get the sales of order ID 25144. Go to sheet 1 and try this, everyone. If you have done, just let me know. But use this order ID and get the sales using index and match. Has anyone done it? Yes, did anyone solve this question what I have given? Okay, Rukmini has solved. How about others? Yes, the answer is 2400, and you can do it with index match like this. Equal to, maybe I'll write the order ID 25144 equal to index. This is my array, or array is what output you want. So sales, this is your array, comma, match. Lookup value is this. Lookup array is this, and 0. When you do it, you will be getting the solution 2400. This is the formula. Now, guys, in the next session, which is tomorrow, I'll be revising your index match again. But are you guys getting what did we learn today on index match, on creating a table and creating a drop down? Are you guys clear on what we have covered? Okay, I hope your recordings are uploaded on the link. You can check that, and I'm also sharing the feedback form. So everyone, I hope you learned something out of this session. Do join the session tomorrow also. We will be using a few more formulas. Right, before we move on into pivot tables, we'll be using a few more formulas. Right, that's all for today's session. So thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Have a good night, and we'll be meeting.